Hello, everyone. I did originally record this audio, but I didn't have my microphone turned on, so nothing picked up. So that was a waste of me 10 minutes of yapping when I thought it was recording my voice when it wasn't. So fantastic. So I'm recording it again. So this video is slightly different to my other one. I've only got other two anyway, but this is just one of my PT clients, Annie, that I've been with for the past few months. Just a few disclaimers on it. She does suffer PCOS, which is more with an insulin problem stuff. So she struggles to regulate her insulin like that as well. So weight loss is a kind of a main goal for her at the moment. That has been a bit tough just because of that kind of diagnosis. Makes it a little more challenging. Does have osteoarthritis in her hands and knees and stuff like that. She has got hypermobility as well. So we've got a bit cut out for me or cut out for us, really, should I say, at the moment with everything going on and stuff that we just really kind of struggle with and just can't do as well as she'd like to. But that's fine. We kind of work through it. This is just mainly kind of like a full body session, like a typical full body session that we might do. We kind of we see it twice a week at the moment. It's pretty consistent twice a week. So mainly it is the resistance side of things. If she's going to do any cardio, she'll do it on her own. I'm not going to sit there with you and sit there with her and do 20 minutes on a treadmill, because that's just, again, a bit boring, waste of the time, really. Might as well do the resistance side of things, sort of we kind of do anyway, and get stronger at them first, which, to be fair, she has been getting really good at it. So we kind of started off with a dumbbell chest press. I'm just looking at my notes over here because I've got what weights we had and what kind of sets and reps. So we typically start at a heavy weight, so we'll start at a heavier set. So typically, right now, we're working at 12.5 kilos, which is a real big improvement from like 3 or 4s when we first started. We'll start with that, and then because we're fresh, we might as well do that first. And then the other sets, typically, they'll be maybe a little bit lighter than that. We might drop the weight down a little bit, maybe 10s or 9s, I think, in the video is what we've got. And the reps will kind of stay the same. So if we are hitting 8 or so, or 10, whatever the kind of range is we're working at, with the lesser weight, we'll kind of hit the same reps. It'll just be a little bit easier because that first set typically will be the hardest one, and then as you fatigue, we just drop off a bit. That's kind of how we do it for most things, to be honest. How I'm training. So we had them first, then we had a goblet squat just set to just a little bit of a higher height. So I had a bench set up, and I had a little extra like padding, like a little box kind of thing as well, because she struggles with mobility, a little bit of mobility in the knees and stuff like that. So a little bit of problem there. So we're not at the moment working kind of parallel, at least. We're kind of a little bit above that. So we're just working on that at the moment. Working on that range of motion where we can. We're still kind of loading it in that kind of goblet front squat position. It's hitting between kind of 10, 15 reps, so 8 to 12, that kind of reps wise. These ones, normally we might start a little bit heavier in the first set, but typically they probably stay the same. I just make a note of the reps we've done from the previous week, so then we can either increase the reps on that same weight we're doing, or we try and increase the weight a little bit, just to go back down to the kind of minimum reps that we want to do. So we had 3 working sets of that. Lat pull down just for the back. I think someone was on. We try and alternate between the kind of assisted. We've got an assisted pull-up machine at our gym. We alternate between that and a pull down. Pretty much the same thing, really. Working the same muscles. We just got this kind of neutral, or more of like it's like a mag grip, I think they're called. So it's more of a just outside kind of shoulder width position. It's quite the longer one. So I just use different grips. Not each time, but we kind of alternate different grips just to get different feel for it. One grip might be easier than the other. You never really know. We had 3 sets of that, 3 sets on the leg extension, just basically keeping constant tension on the legs, on the quads especially, just by not locking out completely at the top and not resting fully at the bottom. So we're kind of working in that kind of 3/4 range of motion. I love the best way to do it. Just it takes pressure off the joints, connective tissue, stuff like that as well. We didn't need to lock out really at the top on each one. dumbbell shoulder press we had after that as well. So again, 3 sets of that, working about 10 kilo, 9 kilos or so, 8 to 12 reps. It's more so getting as far down as we can, so getting enough on a range of motion, bring the dumbbells down to touch the shoulders is the plan. With them ones each time, just to control each rep. That's all we're doing. We're not rushing the movement. And then the last little thing we had is just a little superset for the arms, so biceps, triceps. I like to do the lying, so we had lying tricep extension with the easy curl bar, and then we had strict bicep curls, basically standing up against the wall, because that basically limits the amount of momentum we can use in the movement. So the weight is typically going to be light anyway. When we started off with the bar on both of them, and then we added maybe 1.25 kilos, so not massive and a massive amount of weight, but that bar weighs I think it's about 6-7 kilo on its own, so it is pretty heavy on its own for most people, to be honest. I mean, we're just kind of doing general fitness side of things. We're not doing anything specific. It's just good to hit a little bit of the arms as well, just separately on their own. The lying tricep extension is just, we're trying to get ideally behind the head with the bar, but in the video that we've got, you don't quite get there, which is something to work on. But we did do this at the end, so everything is pretty fatigued by then, which is understandable. But yeah, something we're working on. Again, just real strict control the way down, best we can anyway. Not rushing the movement too much, because there's no need really. We get kind of more tension on the muscles, kind of what we want. Through this kind of slower, it's not a super slow eccentric, but a slower eccentric rather than a quick press up. We're like controlling the weight back, same as on everything really, on every kind of movement we're doing, unless we're training explosive power, but we're not. We're doing more machine work, some free weight stuff, but mainly it is machine work, just controlling the range of motion where we can, and controlling the speed of the reps that we're doing, and just progressing from there. That's that's kind of it, what we done really. Had a little bit of like a warm-up cool down at the end, but that's not very fun to film really. It's just a few stretches at the start of it, and then a few dynamic stretches at the start, a few like general warm-up, and then stuff at the end that's just static stretches, bits to hold, nothing very exciting really. That's pretty much everything really on this one. It's slightly different than normal ones, because I got proper competition in about a few weeks' time on I think the day, it's on Easter Sunday on the 20th of April. So I want to try I've got some more clips of the past kind of couple of weeks or so with my own training, which I want to put together this week at some point to post for next week. And then probably the week after, I will try and film just specific snatch, clean and jerk, kind of not max attempts, but near max attempts. Because I think that'd be good I'll try and talk through it on this little microphone I've got. At the same time, while I'm recording it, might be easier to do it because I can do it from there. And that will probably be maybe next week, just before the kind of competition, because I'll probably do that and then have a few days off before I hit them again, really, any heavy on the competition day. I'll save it until then. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this different style of video. Let's do just showing that just clients kind of training, what we kind of do, what I do with them. For most people, it's very kind of general fitness for the people where I kind of work with at the moment. But if I get anything more specific, I will hopefully try and film that at some point too. Depending on their goals, which is normally weight loss, muscle building, muscle tone, stuff like that. So we just kind of work that 2 days a week at the moment. But yeah, I'll stop rambling on. Hope you really enjoyed this video. If you do, again, like, subscribe. Hopefully it'll be fun up next week in time rather than this one being a bit late. But I really appreciate all the views as it is, and I appreciate people subscribing and checking out the videos. And if you enjoy it, stick around for more. Any feedback, let me know. But I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you all soon.